So these are the items I will wear, and so I'm going to put those aside: my socks, my pants, my gaiters, as well as my hoodie. These ones are items that I put together that I'm not going to need urgently, so these can all go in one bag together, and I'm only going to take them out when I set up my camp. So there's towels, my pajamas, this one is a bug net, rope, swimming trunks, headlamp, camp shoes, undies, socks, extra pants, gloves, and these are my toiletries. So in order to organize them in my bag, I throw them all in together. See-through bags work well because then you can actually see what's inside. These are my camp things. Items that I might need quick is rain jacket, rain pants, a warm fleece, potentially a sun hat, or potentially a warm hat. So they all go in one bag together as well. Some of these items I might need in a hurry. So these are all of my cooking items. There's my pot, my stove, fuel, dishcloth, spoon, knife. I never go without a coffee filter. This is a sealable container, so if I have leftovers I can carry that, and my coffee mug. So all of those things go together as well. And here's all of my food. We're doing an overnight, so I have my breakfasts, my lunches, my emergency food, and my snack food. And so all of my food goes together in one bag as well. So there's my food. Two items that I usually put in just in my backpack as is my repair kit as well as my first aid kit. So here's what you need in order to get your sleeping bag waterproof and nice and small in your backpack. You need 2 garbage bags, 1 boot, 1 stuff sack. So you would line your stuff sack with the garbage bag first, and in order to be sure that it's completely waterproof, you'll do 2 garbage bags. And then you take your sleeping bag and stuff it in there. So then in order to compress it, first you can use your fist, and if you want you can use a knee to get all the air out. Then you take the first garbage bag, really make sure that all the air is out. Just twist. Second one, twist and tuck. Shouldn't be any bigger than this. Same goes for your tent. For your tent you don't necessarily need 2 garbage bags. 1 garbage bag and your stuck sack is fine. If you share the tent with another person, you might have to separate the fly together with the inner tent. If one person is taking the fly and the other person is taking the inner tent. First you roll your thermarest in half, open up the valve, get most of the air out, close the valve, do the second round, open up the valve at the very last minute, close the valve, pack it away. All of these are items that you might want to have really handy, like snack food, toilet paper, GPS, knife, cell phone, perhaps your VHF radio in order to listen to the weather forecast, sunglasses, map and compass. Protect electronics from being exposed to water. 3 Ziploc bags will make it absolutely waterproof. That means submersible even if you trip and fall and land in a river. There are rain covers that you can get for your backpack. I don't usually trust the rain covers. I take really large garbage bags and line my backpack with that garbage bag. You can get them at a hardware store. Look for plastic that is as thick as possible. Now we can start packing. Here are all of our items. Our tent, our thermarest, our sleeping bag, our cooking gear, repair kit, first aid kit, camp clothes, readily available clothes, all of the items that we want to have close at hand, and our food. We never usually need the sleeping bag until we actually set up camp, so I always put my sleeping bag in first. Same goes for the thermarest. Those 2 items are fairly light, so it's nice that they sit right at the bottom. Next are my camp clothes, because I don't need them until I set up my tent anyways. So I get all the air out, twist it. I don't necessarily make a knot, I just sort of tuck it away. food is probably the heaviest, and the heaviest wants to sit right here, pretty much between your shoulder blades. So make sure that your food ends up there. Right here. Your pot set, your cups, your plates, those are bulky, but pretty light. So those are items that can end up fairly far away. So those items would sit approximately here on your backpack. These are items that you want to have close at hand, so I usually put them right at the top. First aid kit and repair kit. You can just squish them somewhere in between, anywhere where there's room really. They're not very heavy. And then you're going to fold it all over and tighten up the drawstring. You might have something like this that keeps it all in place. Items that you want quite frequently could go in the top compartment right here. My weather radio, my GPS, my toilet paper, my food, my compass, my cell phone, my knife, my map, my sunblock, my lip balm, my sunglasses might either go on my head or I'm going to take a glasses case. Your tent and your poles can either go on the side, but make sure that you're well balanced. You can also put it here on the bottom, whatever feels more comfortable. I usually put my tent right here at the bottom. I put my poles here on one side, and I put my hiking stick here on the other side. If you have something like your pot set where you potentially have sharp items that can penetrate some of the other bags and then make them a little less waterproof, you might want to consider putting them into a stuff sack that protects against some of the sharp corners and makes sure that everything is a little bit more waterproof. Also forgot to mention your water. Needless to say, your water is one of the heaviest pieces that you're going to bring on your trip. If you're using something like a platypus, remember, heaviest things go right between your shoulder blades. And so your platypus would go right between your shoulder blades. Now, have a look. I'm not actually putting my water right into my garbage bag, because in case this thing leaks, water would get all over my backpack. So I'm actually putting it outside, right here between my shoulder blades. And then my drinking hose is going to come around like that. Also, I don't think I put enough emphasis on the fact that when you close your bag, your garbage bag really needs to be folded over. If it's not folded over and it rains and water makes it into your garbage bag, then it's going to start to pool at the bottom, which is not a good idea.